I want you to understand that there's really only two forms of swing points in the marketplace as it relates to institutional trading. It's in the form of a stop run or a failure swing. That's it. There's nothing else. So the first one we're looking at here is essentially the breaker. This pattern, in my opinion, is the most powerful, the most dynamic, the most significant price pattern that you need to learn conceptually. And you need to understand some of the characteristics about where it forms. But what generally happens is when you have a selling scenario, the market will generally make a rally up to an area of old resistance. Now, that resistance can come in the form of how we interpret resistance as a bearish order block. It could be a breaker or a mitigation block. It could be an old low it's returning to, or it could be an old high it's returning to. And it may fall short just by a few pips or points initially and start to trade lower. But when we see price hovering just below a key institutional reference point, like we learned in September, which are the bearish order blocks, bullish order blocks, liquidity voids, fair value gaps, when we see these things in our charts, we anticipate price trading to them, to the pip, or into them a little bit, like as it were for a order block. The idea is once you see the level, and these levels are going to be delineated with the blue lines, the diagram on the left represents a selling opportunity or where we expect some measure of resistance. That could be a bearish order block. The short-term high that forms prior to that higher high, that's what gets many traders caught. And if you understand order blocks, many times the bearish order block is just above that. It didn't trade to it, or it leaves a little bit of a fair value gap, and price comes up and just falls short of filling it in, and then finally drives up and closes that little bit of a range in. That's when you get this breaker swing point. Now, why is it a breaker? The fact that it creates that little short-term low in between the higher high and the previous high for the sell side diagram on the left. When the market breaks down and takes out that short-term low prior to the new high, that is indicating that the market has broke those individuals that were initially short and now they're trapped. So when that move takes place, what you're seeing is the opportunity for the marketplace to move aggressively away from the level. It was an initial fake out, and then the buy stops sometimes also are what's targeted. So it could be an order block, it could be a fair value gap, it could be a liquidity void getting closed in that didn't get closed the initial time and then surged up the second leg up. Many instances, by looking at your charts, you'll have a plethora of examples and gaining experience by looking at hindsight examples of how that occurs. On the bias of being bullish, the market diagram here that we have on the right hand side where the sell stops are ran out below a short-term low, once it hits the level or it falls short of a support level, the market many times will drive lower and go right into that level. To me, I love this pattern because number one, I can see when it's forming. Okay, I can see when it's just fallen short of a level and where we're going to anticipate one more drive lower, or in this case, it could be a drive higher on the bullish side. But when we look at price, it's important to have the key levels or the institutional reference points that we taught in September. Those ideas have to already be on your chart. If you don't see them already outlined, you're not going to be able to capitalize on the opportunities that these patterns present themselves with. So if we see sell stops being ran out, or if we see a fair value gap below the marketplace, or a liquidity void that didn't initially fill in the first pass lower and then drives lower and then closes it in, all of those scenarios can lend well to this pattern. Same thing is said for the buy side of the breaker pattern. These swing points, if you look at them, they many times offer outstanding entry points. What makes them scary is the fact that the number one question I get about them is how do you know if you're going to see it reverse if you sell above the previous high? And that comes by experience with trusting the institutional reference points that we taught in September. Order blocks, breakers, mitigation blocks, liquidity voids, and now you've learned fair value gaps. I already know that most of you aren't going to be able to see this pattern readily before they happen. So what can you do with it? Once you see the pattern break down, when that high is broken and it takes out that short-term low between, that market structure shift breaking point, that becomes your trigger. If price ever comes back up to that level, you can be a seller. Now, the beautiful thing is we already have a stop run on this pattern. Now think institutionally. There was a short-term high right here. The market comes down, creates a short-term low, and it rallies up, taking out this short-term high, blowing out the buy stops, closing in a liquidity void that didn't get filled in completely when this first pass came up, or it came into a bearish order block. Maybe it fell short of the bearish order block here. Or maybe this is just simply an old high, and price comes right back above the old high and then rejects and trades lower. You don't have to fear this pattern here. If you don't have the confidence to get in here and sell that idea like an institutional trader would, go right in there and sell it right as it trades through it. Wait for it to break down. If it takes out that short-term low, when market trades back up to that trigger point right here, that's when you would be looking to be a seller. The wonderful thing again is about this pattern is we already have the stop run. So if it's already stopped out those individuals here, there's no reason for it to want to come back up and trade back in there because these traders are already knocked out. So we can be a seller here with a great deal of confidence that our stop loss could actually be above this high or right at that high. The likelihood of it coming back up there after an aggressive breakdown, once a level has already been arrived at, discerning that there has been an expectation of the market being bearish. If we see evidences that we've already seen a stop run here, if we've seen a move start to break lower at or just below that resistance level, this is going to lull traders into believing, and you know what it feels like as well, you want to see price action moving in your favor many times as a new trader. So this dropping off will get traders short. Where's their buy stop going to be placed? Right above this high. So this pass through clears out that buy side liquidity that they can engineer new shorts on. So when we see it return back up to this level here, it gives a great deal of confidence, even on a daily time frame, that we're most likely not going to see price trade back up to this level here because it's already done its job of knocking out those players that are already short. They don't want to give them an opportunity to get a good price in a short. They've already done that themselves by knocking out the initial bears. This breaking point here, we want to be selling at that point right there. So when we look at price, we're looking for this pattern for ourselves. This is the highest, most probable condition to be a short seller in the marketplace because it has a built-in advantage. Even though it's the most fearful thing for you right now, you don't want to sell above an old high because you haven't practiced enough. You haven't seen the effects of looking at institutional order flow on a higher time frame or any other time frame for that matter that frames the support ideas around these particular raids on stops. The same thing is said just in opposite terms for when you're looking to be a buyer. You want to see a short-term low form at or just above a key support level. It could be a bullish order block. It could be a liquidity void that hadn't filled in on this pass here that does here. It could be an old low that just simply runs down below. If it's an old low, there is no limit to time between this low and the new low that forms. Okay, in that regard, there's no time limit. Like you can look at an old low here, and it could be 6 months, and then finally it trades down below that low, and then it runs. That's still the same pattern here. Okay, ideally, you want to see something that has just recently created a low, came back a little bit, a few days, maybe a week, and then it drives one more time through it and hits your bullish institutional reference point. It could be, again, trading down to an old high, or it could be a lower low that it trades down. But the main thing is you want to see a low that makes no real sense stopping there and giving a little tiny little bounce, and then expect that drive lower, closing in on that real level you're having on your chart, which constitutes support. Just like we mentioned over here, the opposite's said here. Any buyers over here on this little pop is going to have their protective sell stop just below that low. We want to think institutionally about accumulating those sell stops. So if they're going to sell it to us, we're going to be a buyer, and we're going to be buying it at a deep discount with the expectation. Now, here's the thing. You want to see an immediate response away from that level. You don't want to see it trade down below this low and hang around for a while. Okay, you don't want to see that. The problem you're going to encounter is because we're trading on a daily time frame as position traders, we're going to have to wait a long time sometimes for that confirmation. It may require the whole entire daily range before the daily candle creates the wick here. So this many times will become the wick. The market will trade down, make that low here, and then wick away from that low, and then you'll see what many people get excited about as a hammer or some kind of a doji. If you're demanding confirmation, you're not going to get this entry down here, but you can get a favorable entry point by waiting for a market structure shift here. So when the market structure shifts on the bullish side here, all eyes go back to this reference point here. We're not worried about coming down here again. We don't care about that. We're worried just simply for a return to this level here. So again, the same mindset we said about the sell side or bearish breaker on swing point, we know this has already been a raid on sell stops. There's no expectation or reason to believe that the market needs to come back down into this level again because it's already done its work. It's cleared out the sell stops and the market is quickly rejected. If it does give you an opportunity to come back down into this breaking point, we can be a buyer here, with the exception that there may be a bullish order block over here. It doesn't have to come back down to this level, just like it doesn't have to come all the way back up to this level. It could just come right back up to an area over here where there would be another order block to trade off of. Depending on how aggressive the selling was away from this high or where the buying was in terms of magnitude, you may never get that return back down to this price point. It may just keep on screaming higher. And that's sometimes going to happen, and that's going to be a missed opportunity. But I want you to think about the marketplace in two conceptual ways as it relates to swing points. You have a breaker swing point, which is what we're describing here. This pattern is, in my opinion, the best pattern in market structure when you're looking for institutional evidences to what should be taking place in the price. When you see this pattern unfold and you learn to anticipate it, you're going to have the highest probable entries for all your setups because you're actually entering at the lowest possible point for buys and you're selling at the highest possible point for sells. And yes, it takes a great deal of conviction to do that, but it also doesn't demand it. You can wait for this pattern to give it to you by waiting for the breakup of the market structure here, which is ironic because you don't get that same forgivingness with the next pattern we're going to talk about, which is the failure swing. All right, this is the failure swing. This is the second form of institutional swing points. I want you to narrow your focus to only two ways of viewing the marketplace when it turns. We already mentioned the breaker swing point, and now we're talking about the failure swing. The failure swing is when you identify when there is a resistance level and it trades through it, breaks down, and comes back and retests it. It can't make another pass through. Now, this level could be up here. It could have been just touching it here and then failed to make another pass to it. It's the same thing, it's same conditions. But what we're focusing primarily on is the ability for the market to get back to this high and make a higher high, or the fact that it makes a failure swing. We don't ever know with great deal of conviction if we're going to get the breaker setup. So while this may be unfolding, we could be anticipating this high being taken out to be a seller up here. But many times what will happen is the market will come up and fall short and then break lower. And that's a missed opportunity. We can't be a seller at a high price. We may have even second guessed this entry as a short, but we are demanding a breaker to occur, which would be selling above this old high, but it doesn't give it to you here. That would be a missed opportunity, but it doesn't mean there's no trading opportunity. Same thing can be said for the buy side. We have a support level down here. The market trades down into it, may trade through it, or the blue line representing our support level could be down here right at the low. It's not important as it relates to where that actual level is. What we're anticipating is the market's going to probably make another pass through and retest this low. Again, we're aiming for and trying to get breaker swing points. If we don't get the breaker swing point, that's not a problem. We have an opportunity to trade off of this pattern as well. If we get the buy set up like this and it retraces off of the level that we are anticipating seeing support at, and it comes back and it starts to come back down and fails and makes one more pass up, if it takes out this short-term high, or on the sell side takes out this short-term low, we have another opportunity. Because what we have here is the market's already shown a willingness to do what? It's run an area of liquidity out. It's trapped traders above here and traders below here. So sellers are stuck down here and buyers are stuck up here. They're not giving them an opportunity to get out. They're quickly repricing here. So now when we understand that, think like an institutional trader. If you know you have a guy on the hook or a fund on the hook up here, he's long now. If you can reprice the market and go lower with it, leave them holding the bag up here, or vice versa, they sold on some weakness down here because, again, think like those turtle traders, long-term position traders. They're selling on a breakout. They're selling below 20-period lows and buying above 20-period highs. So if we can see this phenomenon taking place where they've moved away from a low aggressively, came down but failed to make a low, and then broke through a short-term high in an area where we anticipate bullishness on an institutional basis, we have to sit back and simply just wait. because we'll understand that this movement could have been moved into an order block that's bullish. This could be a bearish order block. This could be a move that goes into a old high to run out buy stops here. Just like this could be an older low, to the left of the chart that wouldn't be shown in this diagram. But we're seeing the evidences that they've already did the manipulation down here. We don't know that for certain until we see the retracement back up here. So all this retracement here, this is the gray area. We don't know for certain if this is going to stop here or if it's going to continue up and give us a break or swing point. Just like we don't know that there's going to be a continuation to go lower to have a break or swing point for buys here. We don't know if it's going to go down below that low. I never know that for certain. I never know that. I anticipate it the most optimal entry. I'm looking for that scenario, but it may not give it to me. So if it doesn't, and it starts to run the other way, I'm just simply going to put my eyesight right here for the buy and here for the sell. If I can't get a retracement back here on an idea for a short, it's no problem. I'm going to just simply wait for that swing point right here to be violated. And then I'm going to be aiming for this level right there. That's where I'll sell. Now, if I'm going to sell at this level here, I can have great confidence that my sell can be protected with a buy stop right above this short-term high, because it's inside this area at which they had already ran the stops out in the form of buy stops. So if my buy stop is here now, they're not going to come back up there and give these opportunity to get off. They're not going to let them out. So I can be a seller here with my stop here and look for lower prices. The same thing can be said here. If I don't know with a great deal of conviction that this is a good buy, or I miss it and it takes off, it's no problem. I'm waiting for this little swing point here to be broken. Once that high is broken, I can wait for price to come back down to this level right here. When this level is retraded to down here, I can be a buyer with a great deal of confidence that my stop loss can be placed just below this low, because it's going to be in an area where they had already ran the sell stops. The institutions go into the marketplace to trap, or they go into knock off. That's what they do. They are in the business of knocking the funds out when they're going to be correct, and they like to put them in on the wrong side when they have pending orders that allow them to be offside. For instance, in this case here, funds could have buy stops here with the expectation that if it goes out, they're thinking this could be a long-term trend following buy program where they can hold on to it for many months. The institutions will drive the price up there, take those buy stops in, but when those buy stops become market orders to buy, they're selling with the expectation they're going to reprice aggressively and then go short. I may read it wrong, just like you're going to read it wrong. I may be looking for a breaker scenario up here where it makes a pass above this old high. I may be looking to sell this old high on turtle soup, and it may never give it to me. And I may not be astute enough watching price to see this is the scenario to really be selling at. So if I miss it, just like you're going to miss it too, and you see this breakdown in here, no problem. Wait for it to trade back up to this level here, and that's where your short's going to be, and your position is going to be protected with a stop loss right above this high. It's going to be in an area where it's already been traded to with manipulation. Buy stops have already been violated here. They're not going to come back up to take those out. If it does, you're probably wrong anyway, and you want to be out. So when we look at price, I want you to think again in two institutional swing point theories. You have a breaker, which is the ideal, most optimal trade entry pattern there is in the marketplace, because it's absolutely the deepest discount buy and the absolute most premium to sell. Point is, when you're right, you get immediate feedback, and it's very encouraging, it's confidence building, and usually if you enter on the right side and you're selling an old high, it's amazing because you'll see how fast the market tanks. If you buy an old low and you're doing it on a breaker setup, and it's a swing point in the form of a breaker, you're going to be able to see dynamic rallies just like that take off, and they'll be explosive. Only try to convince yourself that there's only two real ways that the market's going to turn around. It's going to be on a breaker where they run stops, or it's going to be a failure swing. Both of them are indicating a manipulation, but they both have to be used slightly different. The first one being the breaker swing point, that is the ideal one. You want to be looking for that scenario all the time on any time frame, not just the daily chart, but any time frame. But if you can't get the breaker, don't fear or be upset about missing that move, because it still gives you the opportunity to get in there, because they're only going to turn the market one of these ways. That's it.